Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So today I'm going to be talking about how the Redskins might possibly lose a draft pick or get fined by the NFL after these recent allegations. I'm also going to be bringing you guys some really important training camp news. Also going to be bringing you guys some training camp battles and talking about some important things to look out for, including Bryce Love and Reuben Foster injury updates. If you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. As you guys all know, the recent allegations are pretty bad, and the NFL is likely to take some action. Is their statement right here. So everyone in the NFL, or these matters are, as reported, are serious, disturbing, and contrary to the NFL's values. Everyone in the NFL has a right to work in an environment free from any and all forms of harassment. Washington has engaged outside counsel to conduct a thorough investigation into these allegations. The club has pledged that will give its full cooperation to the investigator and will expect the club and all employees to do so. We will meet with the attorneys upon the conclusion of their investigation and take any action based on the findings. So it does seem like, and Ian Rapport said, based on the NFL statement, discipline could be coming to Washington. The team pledged cooperation, and the league said it will take any action based on the findings. So my take on it is, if what was alleged that happened with the in Washington was true, which it most likely is, then we will most likely get fined. But if the NFL wants to send a message like they usually do with things like this, kind of like what they did with the Saints, where they suspended Sean Payton for a full year. I know these are totally different circumstances. This is an off the field issue, but they could decide to say, hey, we're going to fine you $2 million or whatever, something like that, and give you guys or take away a third round pick from you guys. I doubt that happens. Again, it's most likely just going to be a fine, but if they do want to make a statement, they could take away a draft pick from us. But again, I highly doubt that, just because a similar thing happened in New England with Robert Kraft. It was involving the owner, not really the team, but it was involving the team owner, and I think they just got fined no draft picks. So if it involved the team owner and they didn't lose a draft pick, I don't think it should happen here. But you never know with the NFL and their draft, or just their decision-making process in general. This is what this guy said from the Washington Post. The NFL is likely to fine Washington's NFL team if the allegations are sustained, but barring new developments implicating Daniel Snyder directly, the league and fellow owners are not expected to attempt to compel Snyder to sell. That's pretty much expected. Capri Bibbs did come out with some stuff that say that he said that Daniel Snyder was involved, but until there's some proof of that, Daniel Snyder will remain the Washington Redskins owner for now, unless something else comes up, like I said, and we'll most likely be fined. I don't know the exact amount. Jerry Richardson, I'll get into it in a couple minutes. He got fined about $2 million in 2011 involving similar issues, so I believe it's going to be a little bit more than that, and hopefully not, but possibly a draft pick. And if we lost a draft pick, that would be absolutely terrible. And again, though, doubt it. And if we did, it would most likely be a third or fourth round pick. This doesn't warrant something like a first. It's not a cheating scandal like some people were bringing up that could possibly happen. So expect there to be a fine, and there's a low chance of us getting a draft pick penalty. But Adam Schefter said that is a possibility, so look out for that. So here, the NFL will monitor and potentially have some participation in that review. Remember, we did hire an attorney that is doing the investigation for us. It is an independent study, but still, it's nothing. The NFL itself isn't leading the investigation, which they usually do. So we'll see how that goes, and if the allegations are sustained, we will most likely be fined and possibly get a draft pick penalty. But again, highly doubt it. Now on to the training camp news. This is pretty big news, encouraging news about the NFL season. So JP Finley reported today Washington football rookies will report to Ashburn by July 21st, QBs and injured players by July 23rd, all other players by July 28th. So that is really good news. So that means I believe July 21st is this Tuesday. Don't quote me on that. And July 23rd is Thursday. But that is really, really good news that they are they're going through with this, and we will have a training camp as long as everything stays the track. And the crazy thing is, we still haven't signed any of our rookies, or at least it hasn't been reported. So I'm not certain, but I would assume that they would have to get signed before reporting to camp. But that's going to be really fun. July 21st, that means Chase Young, all the rookies, plus QBs could be there by July 21st, but they can come as late as July 23rd. So that QBs, obviously Haskins, Steven Montez, and Kyle Allen, plus Alex Smith. And then injured players, that would include Bryce Love, Darius Geis, possibly. I think he's fully recovered, but he might still count because he finished the year on injured reserve. And Reuben Foster, amongst others. A couple other players, obviously, were ended the season on the injured reserve list or had an injury in the offseason. So they're going to be able to be there on July 23rd. So that's going to be really interesting. I don't know when the media is going to be able to go there. So we'll see if they give us any input or not input, intel on how Reuben Foster and Bryce Love are doing. But the last time that stuff came out about Reuben Foster, he was doing full sprints, he was working out. Still haven't gotten much of an update on Bryce Love. Again, he said he was going to be ready for training camp, but that's coming out of his mouth. We don't know if that was optimistic. We'll see though. It's going to be really interesting. So now on to what I think some battles, training camp battles to look out for, and some important things in general to look out for. So like I said, Bryce Love and Reuben Foster injury updates. It's going to be stay tuned for that because that's going to be very important for our success this year. A lot more. It's going to be a lot more important to see how Reuben Foster does because Bryce Love definitely could make an impact, but we have a lot of other running backs that can play well this year and can play pretty good. But Reuben Foster, if he's healthy, he's our starting middle linebacker most likely, and I think he could make a great impact. He has Pro Bowl potential, so if he's healthy, I think that could boost our defense up a lot. But don't count on it. Another big thing to look out for is how Dwayne looks. Because last year it was reported by a lot of people, J.P. Finley, John Keim, a lot of Craig Hoffman, that Dwayne Haskins did not look ready. He did not look good compared to Case Keenum and Colt McCoy. So hopefully we hear stuff like he's looking really, really good in training camp around July 23rd, July 24th, and hope that'll be really encouraging to see that he's playing a lot better than Kyle Allen, all these other guys, because that wasn't the case last year. And again, I don't know if I read this, but all other players will report by July 28th. So that is in 10 days. So it's coming down soon. And we'll see about preseason. That is still up in the air if they're going to play. I believe the first game is like something like the 18th, week 1 and week 2. That's when they're going to play, if they do play. Another training camp battle that I am looking forward to see is Jordan Brailford versus James Smith-Williams. I want to see how that plays out because I don't know if both of those guys make it. I think one of them will definitely make it, and maybe the other guy makes the practice squad. But those two guys are late round picks. James Smith-Williams, a 7th round pick this year. Jordan Brailford, a 7th round pick last year that really didn't get to play much because he didn't play at all, I don't think, because he got hurt. But he does have a 1 year of NFL experience under his belt. Even though he didn't play, he was practicing against NFL talent. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. The next is Ryan Kerrigan versus Montez Sweat. And we all have big expectations for Montez Sweat, but who knows? Some people are saying that Ryan Kerrigan could start over Montez Sweat. I think Sweat's going to start. He's younger. He's a lot younger. He has a lot more potential than Kerrigan does in the next couple years. Obviously, Kerrigan at his peak was really good, but his potential in the next couple years isn't as high as Sweat is in his next couple years. So we'll see how that plays out. I expect Montez Sweat to have a breakout year this year, a really good year, 10 plus sacks. So I expect him to start. And then the last kind of thing to see is how Jimmy Moreland, Fabian Moreau, and Ronald Darby do, because they're all competing for starting spots. You got Kendall Fuller's a lock to start, but besides that, we'll see, because Kendall Fuller wants to play on the outside. So if he plays on the outside, he's also a great slot cornerback. So if he plays on the outside, then Jimmy Moreland's definitely going to play in the slot. And then you got Ronald Darby and Fabian Moreau battling for the other outside spot. But if Kendall Fuller is playing in the slot, then you got Jimmy Moreland, Fabian Moreau, and Darby battling out for those other two outside spots. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Uh, like I said, though, most important thing is how Dwayne develops and the injury updates. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I doubt we get penalized a draft pick, but it is something to monitor because you never know what the NFL, what they're going to do. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new, turn those post notifications on, and peace.